got the whole thing going on. We have Aidan Park here. He's in some park in Montana. Just kidding. He's traveling, and he took the time to be here so you could get to know, like, and trust him, and go support him online at his shows. Welcome to Comic Spot. That's what this Army veteran created, so that this Army veteran, I'm not a comedy veteran, Aidan is. I started with him, but he took off and I stayed in the slow lane. So he is doing great. My comedy is like, I like making self-deprecating jokes about my comedy. When I went to Aces and met him, the people teaching me said, "You're taking too long to get to the punchline. Stay off the premises." And I thought they meant to never come back. Huh. So yeah, that goes over like a lead balloon on stage too. So I'm gonna go here and read you his intro because he is that cool. Aidan Park is a comedian based in Los Angeles, originally from South Korea. I have a tie to South Korea. He doesn't know that. Aidan's act can be described as fun and high octane. And I'm gonna skip ahead. You may have seen him on his comedy on Perez Hilton. Perez Hilton? Oh my gosh. Buzz TV, TV Guide channel, West Coast Comedy. This guy is blowing up all over while we're sitting back going to open mics and getting guest spots. He's been on the Hulu TV, True TV, NBC. Listen, he's been in movies. This guy, can we just welcome him to the stage now? Welcome my friend from Aces Comedy Club in Murrieta, Aidan Park. Woo! Hi, Aidan.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I have a black coffee cup too.
Back. Oh, good. Oh, thank God. It's early.
Yes. So my daughter went and modeled in South Korea, and she got to be on a movie with Kim Gun-mo. She was co-starred.
Okay, Kim Gun-mo is a pop star from the 1990s.
Yes, he was like Michael Jackson in some ways.
I actually was raised in Korea. Well, I was born in Korea till I was 9. And so Kim Gun-mo was huge when I was leaving for Korea to the States. So,
yes.
You know.
Yes. Well, tell me about your early life. You look like you came out of your mother's womb cracking jokes. That's what you look like.
Is that what I look like? Yeah. I look like hell. I look like I just crawled out of my mother's womb now. Crying. Okay, no.
So were you always funny?
You know what? I think I was. But I don't know. It's an interesting, in Korea, there's an interesting, different kind of funny. Like, there's a different sensibility. Like, there's a slapsticky, almost campy nature to the funny. And I kind of adapted that style because I grew up there for the first 9 years. And, you know, they're big on sketch comedy that's very big on slapstick. And so I kind of lean in that direction. So I guess I did. Yeah, I was always like that, kind of. Very loud.
In your intro, it says that you're very high octane. Does that also come from the Korean sense of humor?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty, yeah. You've seen my act.
Yes, I have. Absolutely. Yeah. I've watched it. And so you were always funny. And did you get formally trained, or did you just get on stage? Why did you go and do comedy? Did you get training? Was it just natural, or did you watch me? What's your story, Aidan?
How did I get into comedy?
Yeah. How did you get into comedy? How did you get this good? I want to know. Everybody has what's your story?
Well, I started in musical theater. I got so sick of it. I did 9 productions of Miss Saigon, and I was like, that's it. That's it. I was like, I'm Asian. If you're Asian and you do musical theater, that's it. Miss Saigon. I went to China one time to do Miss Saigon. You know, that means the people from China had to fly to the United States to find a Korean to fly to China to play a Vietnamese person. I was over it. And I was like, okay, well, how else can I express myself? Because I really like being on stage. And I was one of those people that, you know, comedians really hate, you know, those actors who like transition into comedy. They're like, I'm an actor. And, you know, so I was one of those people. And, but I stuck with it because I really, really liked it. And so I took a class. And that class was awesome. And and for the first 2.5 years, I was like in and out doing like one every other week. And then I was like, that's it. And so I threw myself into it.
Wonderful. Who did you take your class from that you can recommend to people?
I liked Jerry Katzman's class, and I coach sometimes with Jenny McNulty.
Don't you love her?
I love
She's
her.
top shelf.
Top shelf, yeah. That's one of my best friend's jokes. She's Kate Quigley. You know, she says she's a top shelf pussy. So there you go.
I met her when I was working at Harvey's Comedy Club doing podcasts there. I met her. I loved Kate Quigley.
Very sweet. Yes.
I love her.
Good person.
Yes, you assume from the press that she puts out that she's nothing like when you meet her and when you hear her on stage. Because a lot of her pictures are very sexually oriented, but her comedy is just straight up solid comedy.
It's almost, I feel like she's so smart because it's almost a response to her being given that stereotype. Like people were like, oh, you're just a sexy girl. She was like, oh yeah, watch this. You know, so I think it's great. I like it. There's too. Irony. There's an edginess to whatever she does. There's a purpose.
She's smart. Yes,
yeah,
very
smart. Yeah.
She does it very well. And she's like best friends with you. So that's really cool. I love her to pieces. So you got on stage. Let me go back to like the very first time you said, I'm going to go up on stage and deliver jokes. Were you scared? How did it go?
Yeah, it was at the Haha. It was like our class presentation night. And yeah, I mean, I had my jokes and I was a beginner. So I had a script and it was very, you know, I mean, yeah, it was very, very scary. I had like a minute and a half.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was April of 2012. I had a minute and a half.
Oh my gosh. You started 2 years before I did. I started April of 2014 in Ace's Comedy Club. Yeah. That I saw you coming to. Remember Taylor Tomlinson when she came to Ace's?
Didn't she?
Didn't she blow up? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sure did.
Oh my gosh. So, you know, your career started taking off about when and how, what did somebody give you a break or did you were in the right place at the right time? What would you attribute to going from being at an open mic and on little shows here and there to where you're at now? What would you attribute that to?
My path was producing. So I learned how to produce. So I came from like kind of a business background also. Like I ran a couple small businesses before I entered comedy along with musical theater. And so producing was super easy for me, right? Like I like people, booking people, getting an audience, whatever. I got an opportunity to co-produce on a show at the Laugh Factory. And they gave us 3 days to put a show together. And I was like, we're blowing this up. So I got like 100 people there, like blew it up. And then they were like, how would you like a show here? So I got, after about a year of producing there, they finally passed me. And that's when things started rolling. Because then after I got passed, then I started meeting all the regulars. I started, you know, networking with all the people who, you know, whatever. So producing for me was a great way in. And I actually do hold the stance, like, I'm funny. Like I'm funny, but you know, like I'm not like I'm very funny. I don't know that I'm the funniest, and you know, but I think I kind of know how to produce and know the business end of things, so I can move forward. You know, and I think there's a lot more of that than people think.
Yes, so, and the networking. You know, like I started doing this little Zoom show because. Did you ever see the show Bewitched?
Yeah.
I'm like the neighbor lady. I'm like Gladys Kravitz. I'm nosy. You
You
know,
do look like Gladys Kravitz a little bit. Now that you're the way you say it, I'm Gladys Kravitz. Call me the gay Darren. I not go there.
so the thing is that I wanted to check in and make sure comics are doing okay because they can't work, they don't have money, we tend to be depressed, and
Yep.
I got hooked because everybody they call in Vegas they call me the confidence fairy. I just cheer people up and I bring the best out of people, and so I thought,
You're nothing like Gladys. Gladys is mean spirited. You're not Gladys. You're very sweet. You're very, very nice. Thank you for being so.
Thank you for saying it. Thanks for noticing. So I'm having fun doing this. It's just something great. You know, I've got no life. Trust me.
You know, it's like I suffer with depression, anxiety also. And like, I mean, I lean very friendly. I look very happy. People assume that I, come from privilege, I think, because I'm tall and I smile a lot. Like I was born to a couple of dentists in Irvine, you know what I mean? But like, that's not, that was not what happened. I grew up in the poorhouse of San Francisco. I was widowed. So like, and my coping mechanism tends to be keeping busy. And now we have to face our demons, don't we?
Yes. Yeah, we're finding out. So, Comic Spot, I love it. I know you've loved it. Let's keep it going. I need your help. I developed it so you out there can get to know comics, whether they're brand new or 45 years in the biz. We're going to get to know them so you'll know who to love. So, all I need you to do is donate to my Cash App, and that is Linda Marcus Smith. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. We're doing some. I say that thanks to the pandemic, I am now building a house in my apartment. I'm building a log cabin from toothpicks. Like,
great.
I think that I have enough. Who knows how long I have? I might as well build a house from toothpicks at this point. Who cares?
Well, you might get there. You might.
Yeah. The crazy things we have time to do that we never did have time to do. And you're right. We have to face our demons.
Yeah, we do. We do. Totally.
I love your laugh. So tell me, how many, how many gigs did you have set up to do around the world probably, and then the pandemic hit and shut you down? How many things did you get canceled?
A good 40.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
I had two. But they were at the LA Comedy Club, so who's complaining, I think I'm bragging.
At the LA Comedy Club. Is that the one I've never played that place. It's the
Oh my God, you gotta play it.
It's the theater, right? Grauman's.
It's in Vegas. The LA Comedy Club is in Vegas.
Oh, LA Comedy Club Vegas. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
My bad. Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very friendly to comics, especially the locals, it's a kind of a hangout place. So that's fun.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to hang out at a mic, when you can do it at a club?
Yeah. Mics are
brutal. Oh my God.
I have a secret. I only did like 3 mics in my whole career. I went 3 times and I was like, this is not okay. Like, I cannot. I'm Korean, man. I'm like, I gotta get, and I like to sign up on a list and be number 27 and wait in the balcony with people who are just like sad. Like, I was like, I can't do this. This takes a toll. I even tried to do comedy mic and I was just like, I cannot spend 3 hours here doing this. There's gotta be another way. Got to be another way. I just too impatient.
Yeah, I get it. I compare an open mic to going and bowling to a bowling alley and bowling blindfolded. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? You don't know what works and why. How are you gonna figure?
It doesn't transit. I feel like it's good to get on stage if you've never been on stage. But if you are from a background where you're comfortable on stage, then I don't recommend open micing because I feel like it kills your spirit. People are unfriendly, and then you get up there and you make jokes, and you can't tell whether they work for the general audience or not. So you can't get a read on what's actually working.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Find it useful. The only way you benefit from an open mic is going up there and practicing like you do in front of the mirror or in your apartment, but doing it on a live stage, and maybe one person will laugh.
But you don't even know if that person's proclivities lean. You don't know if they're laughing because they're relating to you, or if they're laughing because it's a general audience thing, right? Which makes it useful, because like then you go to the Laugh Factory and then you audition with the same material that got a laugh at the open mic, and it's too out there for the booker. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. It's like, it's such a different world, and I don't know.
I've got a really important question to ask you that I want to know. You're so adorable. Look how handsome you are.
Thanks.
So if I or anybody of any age, regardless of age or sex, wanted to go to the Laugh Factory and deliver material to try to get past, like for me at this point, I don't know that I would, but if I did, what do you suggest is material they should stay away from or lean into?
I don't think anybody should stay away from anything necessarily, but you gotta be like, set a punch. You gotta, make sure you have a structure. You can't go up there meander, Sorry.
That's okay. That was cute. A whole nother
you can't meander. But also, this is where I feel I'm pretty opinionated, so I'll just talk. Okay, so this open mic is kind of dangerous, is because it creates a homogeneity among comedians. They'll go to the open mic. There's a culture in the open mic, so you go in there, and if you're really, really strong, and you can hold your own in that space, then it creates strong comedians on the other end. But most of the time when people go there, it kind of beats them down into this homogenous comedy culture, and their style goes away. So the point of view becomes homogenous. And so then it's like, there's no, why should I pick you over that guy in a hoodie, or 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 that guy in a hoodie? Why are your masturbation jokes good over that guy's masturbation jokes, or that one, or that one, or that one, or that one? It creates like a homogenous kind of feel, and it's normal because it's like high school, right? Like you want to fit in, but I don't see a lot of spark of individuality or originality coming from the open mic culture, unless they are cognizant of it. They can hold their own. You know what I'm saying?
I certainly do. That's beautifully said.
That's what's going to make you a star. You can write good joke structures all day long, but you must have your own unique point of view. You need to have your own point of, why are we interested in Linda? Why are we interested in Aidan? You know what I'm saying? They could get some other tall Asian guy to make gay jokes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I do. So, I've been doing this 6 years now. You've been in it over 8, right?
Yeah.
And so the first 5.5 years, I did it with a brain injury and reading notes. Imagine what it's like to have a bona fide problem with your brain and going up on stage and going, I have notes because, I have a brain injury. Haha, isn't that funny? Let's get to my jokes. I don't have them memorized, and here's another one, and here's another one. And it went nowhere. And you know what I found is when I quit talking about the brain injury, I can remember my jokes.
Funny.
It's weird. So I don't refer to it anymore on stage. And I never took acting. And I'm a boomer, so I did act in the bedroom just for 7 years in a marriage, but you would have too. He was ugly. Sorry, that's really terrible to say. He's still ugly in his soul. He's probably watching. Anyway, now I killed the mood. Now we're never going to be best friends because I dogged my ex.
Please. Oh, please. I dogged the boyfriend that died on me a couple years ago. I still did.
Oh,
I'm like, that
right.
motherfucker.
Absolutely. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I remember that. Sorry about that.
You met him, right? You met him.
I think I did. I don't
Yeah.
recall his name.
Michael. Yeah.
So I was at a comedy mic at Aces. I don't think you were there the night that it happened, but there was a guy up on stage and he was like talking and bombing. I mean, I never heard worse bombing, and anything that he said bombed. And so he started using his inside voice and saying it into the microphone, like, "Oh my God, I'm bombing. I should go home and kill myself." That's what he said.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I had not decided to go do comedy yet. I'm thinking it, and I said, I heckled him. You're not supposed to, but he says, I think I'll just go home and kill myself. He thought that would get a laugh, and I'm sitting there. I said, oh, just make fun of the Jews. Make fun of us Jews, and the place busted up. And then I thought, what the hell am I doing in the audience? I should go up, and if I can get a room to, that's the night I was like, you know what? At some point, that's what I'll do.
That's good.
So I comes out of heckling. But he started making fun of us Jews. And then he just tore the place up making fun of Jews because a Jew had given permission.
That's what it is. Yeah. I have a joke about, I shouldn't say.
Go ahead.
Asian driving joke, and I always follow it up because I do think we're either fast and furious or slow and infuriating. There's no in between. And so I always, after that, people get, and I'm like, I'm looking for the Asian, that person right there. There's an Asian person right there, and she's laughing. So and then so next time I make an Asian joke, you turn around and look at her and you laugh. Like, you can get a gauge on whether she approves.
That's funny. That's
got to get the permission of whoever's in the room, right? Because
yes,
everybody's so PC now.
I know. It's like, everything you say has to be politically correct. So good night.
Yeah.
Let me know how that works for you.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a weird thing.
Who are some of your idols that you've gotten to perform or meet at the comedy store? Or
you know what?
Actor?
When I first moved to the U.S., I was 9 years old, and there were no Asian people on TV, and I'd always been interested in like entertainment industry, and I didn't speak any English, and I saw Margaret Cho on TV, and then a few years ago through the Laugh Factory, I met Margaret Cho. We became friends, and she wrote the foreword to my book, which I'm super excited about. I cannot believe that happened.
And your book will be coming out in the next few months, you think?
In the next month. So the set date is September 8th. Yeah, it's called The Art of Being Yay. Yay. It was supposed to be called The Art of Being Gay, but my manager was like, people might think you're trying to turn people gay. And I'm like, what idiot is going to think I'm turning people gay? But okay, And I don't try to do that anymore. They always cry after, so I don't do it.
And as I understand it, I'm a hetero, but I understand that you can't turn somebody gay.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like he's very woke.
No. I mean, but it's right because he's right because my it's for general audience. It's about emotional well-being. I don't tell people this because I feel like a freak, but out of high school, I was an undocumented. Like, that's why the PC culture kind of bothers me because I was an undocumented immigrant, couldn't go to college. I was in poverty. I was a Craigslist hooker for a minute because there was no job, and so and then I was
I did that one time for $100.
You have to act with your husband. So what's the difference? May as well get paid for.
Thank you. 7 years, one time. I mean, I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing all right, and you still look great. And you live,
That one time was far better than 7 years.
Oh, at least you got
a whole bit there.
You're right. So then I got a to empowerment. That's kind of what happened. I studied neurolinguistic programming, and I did like Landmark and those empowerment things. And that's how I learned all the business concepts that led me to whatever I got. And when Michael died a couple of years ago, I was like, I started applying those tools to feeling better, like just emotionally. And that's what the book's about. So it's like, when you are so unhappy, when you really are at the end of your rope, because I took care of him for cancer the last 3 months, like when you are done, when you have nothing left.
Yes.
And absolutely, like I have this bit, I'm like, hey, I went shopping for a gun. I found a gun for $200 in a pawn shop. And then I found the gun for $70 on the internet. I'm like, what a freaking ripoff. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so cheap. I'm bargain hunting for my suicide weapon, which is so stupid, because if there was ever a time to put something on a credit card, don't you think this would be it? That would be the moment. What an idiot. So so I started to feel better. Yeah. That's what the book's about.
My daughter, I started comedy because my daughter didn't want to talk to me anymore. And that's the day I called Rocky Osborn and said, I don't want to live, but if you can teach me how to do comedy, got me in that day to learn it.
Yeah.
So I credit him for saving my life.
Comedy does save people's lives. It really does.
People don't like to admit it.
Weird. Yeah. After Michael died, I started booking shows. Like I was like, just put me on every single show, just put me on any show. And then people were like, well, he's already making jokes about Michael on stage. And I'm like, I couldn't stay home. I would have died if I was home. Like,
yeah. That's why I'm doing 8 interviews a day, 5 to 8 interviews. Go out my door and it's depressing and it's Groundhog Day. And, you know, talking to comics cheers me up and they say it cheers them up.
Yeah.
We got to do what we got to do. And what's with the saying, we're all in this together? You know, like, I'm so sick and tired. We're really all in this all alone. I'm in my place all alone with an occasional cockroach. And like, who's in it with me? Nobody. Like, you're all really in life. It's you against the world. You know what I mean? Like, you might have friends, but at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. I mean, that really is the key to happiness. Like, I think, like, knowing yourself, and you must lean on yourself. If you're reaching out to fulfill a dependency or something, then it will crumble. Everything out here is gonna go. Your boyfriend, your friends, your husband, everything is gonna collapse. So you better learn how to love yourself and lean in, because if you lean out, you'll tumble out. That's it.
Absolutely. Like every day you should do things to fill your own love cup, because people are going to come and you're going to have to be there for other people. And if you're not there for yourself, what do you have to give?
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not, people, this drives me crazy. Like, people are like, oh, we need to be generous, right? So like they take on this generosity thing as a martyrdom thing, but that's really a lack in themselves that they're trying to fulfill by doing this other thing. So it's not really a generous giving, it's a martyrdom. And I think that's a problem in our society, and we congratulate people for that. People need to be aware of that kind of stuff. It's dangerous.
Very dangerous. It's like a warning sign that bells and whistles should go off when people are out there doing things for the wrong motive. Like, if it's not your natural personality to do things for others, but you should take care of yourself first and not give.
I think they don't even know, though. A lot of people who are unaware, they just do things and they don't even know who they are. So they just kind of are acting out of whatever. But like, do you know who you are? Like, do you know why you're doing this? What is your motive here? Do you know? And that's why, as much shit as Kate gets or whatever, she knows. She's aware. She is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can, Angie Crumb downstairs, like, she's sleeping right now. Angie Crumb, aware, you know, like, and Angie Crumb's the dirty girl of comedy. She's like, fuck you, I don't care. Heart of gold, marshmallow inside. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, Kate put, like, a sexy bikini girl, marshmallow inside, heart of gold, aware, considerate. Like, I just love those girls so much. And I'm like, yeah, I'm super grateful to have friends like that, you know?
You are. super grateful. I moved here in December, and some of the big boys in town, with 30, 40 years in comedy, they're my age, and they've like taken to me, and they're helping me with tips, and they've given me spots and stage time, and like this would have never happened if I just stayed back home in Portland, Oregon. Never.
I'm so glad that you did. I have 4% left on my phone.
Okay, you have been so awesome. And I have your Instagram, and I believe I have are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter, yes. AidanParkShow.
AidanParkShow on Twitter.
No.
And you have a podcast. I have the name of it on your Instagram.
No. I had one at the Laugh Factory, but that's done.
Okay, perfect. I saw that. Okay, it was with the Laugh Factory. Wonderful. And your book's coming out, and it's called Don't Tell Me, The Art of Being Yay. Y-A-Y?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll look for it in the bookstores, and I'll put it on the post. In about 3 to 8 days, Adam Dominguez, comic here in Vegas, he does my back stuff. He'll make this video look like a sitcom, and I'll send it to you for you to share.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you lots.
Fun. Have a good day, huh?
And is it in Yangaseo?
Yes. Your daughter learned something.
Yeah.
Oh.
I learned it like LinkedIn Korean once removed. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Everybody's talking.